back to the Grace Gorgeous channel. Like, comment, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, hit the notification bell, tell a friend, channel. There'll be more videos coming, especially with these story times. Y'all don't want to miss these story times. I hope y'all have a good story time. So this is the first time, right? I worked at Forever 21, okay? And this is when I started in July 4th or July 5th. I think it was July 5th, because July 4th was the fireworks day. I got the date, but it was that date. It was 2018. Okay. So yeah, so around there, right? So around there, it was in Manhattan. So before that date, like I did go to, they had a high-end event for Forever 21. So I went to the high-end event. It was before that day, right? So I went there all dressed in nice, stuff like that. So it was it was in June when they did the high event. Okay. So when I went there, I was looking nice and stuff like that, look presentable and stuff like that. So the man was like, "Are you good with customer service? Tell me about yourself." So I was like, "Yes, I do cashier, I fix clothes and stuff like that. Um, you know, I'm a good people person and stuff like that. So after that, right? So yeah, so after that, he's like, okay. So he was like, to tell me stuff I told about myself, that I had other jobs I was working with. He said, okay. So he looked at my resume. He was like, okay. So he was like, so he basically was like, you hired on the spot. But he's okay. He gave me the look like, okay, you know what you're doing. But he did tell me that he was gonna email me or call me. So after that, I'm like, all right. So after that, I was still working at another store, and after that came my big. So after that, that's when I went home and stuff like that. I had got the email on Wednesday. It was like, we're gonna move forward with your application, do this paperwork and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, yes, they hired me. So I got hired on. So basically, they said the email I had to do the paperwork online and stuff like that. And basically, my manager, you gonna start on the 5th. I was like, okay. So I started on the 5th, right? So this was July 5th, 2018. So I started there, stuff like that. So after I finished, right, the paperwork, stuff like that. So what I'm thinking is like, they gonna train me. I was like, okay. Because like, I did tell it was my first time doing Forever 21 because I never did Forever 21. So I was like, alright. So I was like, okay, so they're gonna train me and make sure I get these lessons in. And this is what I'm saying in my head, y'all. I'm saying this all in my head. Like, they're gonna make sure I get the proper training. Because with every job is like, you watch the videos, you do the paperwork. After it's like, the third part is they're gonna train you. Okay? When I came to work looking presentable, looking nice, and this is when I was like skinny, looking good and stuff. Like, I was looking good, okay? And around it, we had where the Forever 21, the yellow thing. Then we had where our ID on us, but it was yellow, but it said Forever 21. So I came there with my bag down, stuff like that. They had, okay, I'm gonna tell y'all the story. I'm gonna finish telling y'all the story. So I put my bag down, stuff like that. Give me a beat. They didn't have lockers. That was number one. They didn't have lockers to where to put your stuff in. Okay, what they had, like, back in the room, is so small. Okay, the room was small, right? They had the floor of like the cashier, the fitting rooms right here. So basically the fitting rooms right here, the cells and the floors right here, the cashier right here. So when you go in the back, right, it's basically the bathroom. And when you go over in, there's basically on the side where it's like, soon as you go in, you see the table, 3 chairs. When you go in the room, it's basically like a microwave. There's one microwave, and it's just like it's like an area where we can go, but you basically, it's like a cubby. You know, you were a kid and you put your things in the cubby. That's what they had. I'm like, we is too old. We putting our stuff in no cubby. I'm like, are they for real? Are they for real? So I'm like, all right. So I'm like, okay. So then after that, I'm like, okay. So, I got there, So I'm like, so the boss was like, you here? I was like, yes, stuff like that, no case might be, So the manager, like, okay. So, so basically the manager went to go and ask to see somebody could train me and stuff like that, to be on the floor, stuff like that. So he went, asked is good, right? So she was like, and then he see me, and he was like, can you train her? She's new and stuff like that. And you stay in the film. He was like, okay. So she left. She showed me around, cause maybe, cause the space is small. I ain't gonna hold you. The space is very small. So I'm like, okay. So she come out. She's telling about the fitting rooms, that if they have it in the fitting rooms, it can only be like 4 or 5 items. It can't be 6. They said if it's 6, then they gotta take one out. I was like, okay, bet. I had that down pat, stuff like that, And they said something they want, put it on a rack, but it's different rack. Put it on. I said, okay. So after that, I'm like, all right. So we leave out the fitting rooms. So she showing me where like the jeans at, like the ripped jeans and stuff. And that's another pair of jeans with the regular jeans. Then she showing me where they want to get something like fast, like weddings and stuff. Everything's on the rack. This is what we have, stuff like that. The sale item right here, and then these like designers. They just want to look cute and stuff like that. Just put stuff. So I'm like, okay, stuff like that. So I'm looking like, okay. So she's basically telling me the brands and stuff. I'm like, good. I'm not gonna remember all these brands. She said, well, you're gonna have to remember you want to work here. I get that, but I'm not gonna remember all these brands. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna need some time with this. So he said, especially they gonna ask you to put some outfits together. I'm like, but I have no problem putting outfits together and letting on my pins and stuff like that. Case might be, So while, I'm getting a little bit of the tour and stuff like that, case might be, So after that, right, that's when I'm like, alright, back. So I'm like, so tour. So the customer asked where it's down. He said, oh, it's right over there, between the ripped jeans and the shirts. Okay, they go and see it, stuff like that. I'm like, okay, she must know where this place at, where that place is at. Okay. So she like, this is your first day? I was like, yes, my first day. So she was like, it must be nice for you. I was like, so I looked at her. I'm like, so why would you say that? She like, because when I got trained, he said, because on my third day, nobody trained me. I had learned on my own. I was like, oh.
Who
So I'm
are
like, oh,
you?
dang, I didn't know. He said, yeah, and she was like, basically all of us, we had to learn our own. They didn't train me. They were how he's telling us to train you. Like, we didn't get that. I was like, oh, I didn't know. He said, yeah, we had to learn where everything was at. I was like, wow, right? So I guess I was different to learn where everything is at, stuff like that. So basically told me he wanted me to learn the floor stuff. He really didn't want me to go on a cashier. He wanted me to learn the freaking floor. So I'm like, alright, bet. So after that, I'm like, alright. So after a while, I started learning the floor. Then people start talking about name brands. I'm like, you gotta go to a different person because I'm still new with the name brands and stuff. So So he's so I was like, so you gotta go to another person. So he said, you must be new. I was like, yes, I'm still getting to know the floors. So it's like, I don't know where this thing is at. So, which I did. I'm still new with everything. So I'm like, yeah, you gotta go to a different person. So, after a while, my coach was like, you got to show me. I don't know where this stuff is at. So she's like, I trained you to, yeah, but you went too fast. I told you to slow it down for me. Like, all these name brands doing in my head. I don't know what that is. He said, well, just look on the sign. It will tell you. I said, what signs? You been looking at these clothes? Because that's what the name brands is at. So, after that, okay, maybe some like, so they didn't really say much and stuff. So I'm like, So, after that, I'm like, alright. So, after that came my beat. Yeah, after some time go on, so I think this is around like August, around there, case might be, he wanted me to go in the fitting rooms, right? Mind you, I never did the fitting rooms in my life, okay? I just started getting to know the floor. He wanted me to fitting rooms. So I said, okay. So I did the fitting rooms, okay? So I'm like, back my mom, like, I told myself, wait, I never did the fit move. You're gonna learn today. I was like, okay. And mind you, the manager I had, the manager I had was gay. Okay, so he was a little bit feisty, did not play or anything, but just know he was gay. Okay, the manager I had Forever 21, this in Manhattan, he was gay. Just let y'all know the manager was gay. So I'm like, okay. So after that, but he was one thing he was, but he wasn't playing. That's what I'm gonna say. But I'm like, okay, so we in there. He brought me in there. So I had to ask. I said, so wait, how many people? I said, how many clothes you have? He said, I got 10, but we're gonna have 5. You gotta leave some out. I could put on the rack. So one rack, they had to give me the clothes so I could put on the rack. The other rack on the side of me, that was the clothes what they did. And just put it on there. So I was like, okay. So I'm like, alright. So, mind you, they never told me to separate the racks. Separate to designers. I didn't get that part. So, they never said that to me. So, it's a couple pieces they left out. So, I'm like, alright. So, I'm like, okay. So, no time, people, So, I had got another person, right, to help me with the fitting rooms. And this guy was short. Okay, he was short, but he was gay. Okay, this was another gay guy. So I'm in there, so I'm helping no time people, stuff like that. This guy running the racks, going back and forth, cause he see the racks, so he's running the racks, stuff like that. So while you're on the racks, I'm doing the customers and everything else. The fitting rooms. Taking the stuff out, putting it on. Doing a whole bunch of stuff. So after that, I'm like, alright, back. He came back in there. So we gonna call this short guy Orange. Okay, we gonna call this guy Orange. Okay. So we gonna call the guy name is Orange. We gonna call the manager Super, because this guy was always nice and stuff, but he also has his bad days, but he didn't want to be bothered. So we gonna call it the manager Super, okay? So middle name, my co-worker Orange, my manager Super. Okay, so let's continue. So I'm like, alright. So always going back and forth, So I'm like, okay. So after that, it was another girl, she came, chat with her with Orange. I'm not listening to the conversation, anything. So Orange like, call me by Grace, y'all. I'm telling y'all, call me by Grace. But I actually did tell my real name. So I was like, Grace and stuff like that. So he said, oh, okay. He said, well, my name is Orange. I said, okay. So after that, right, he said, so how you like it? I said, it's good. So, I'm still getting to know the place. It's still some things I'm still working on, stuff like that. He said, okay. He said, well, you got, so She said, he like, must be nice. I was like, what you mean must be nice? He said, because I didn't get trained when I first started. I had learned it on my own. I said, well, again, both of y'all had to learn this on your own. Like, none of y'all got trained. Like, I'm the only one who was lucky to get trained. Like,
who
I'm the only
are
one
you?
here. I'm confused. So after we talking, stuff like that, So while we doing, doing the customers, so we clean out the rooms and stuff like that, I was gonna say, so I need to ask y'all a question. So I'm like, what's the question? So while we clean out the rooms, I'm gonna ask y'all a question. He said, what? So he said, receive or gave. So I'm like, receive and gave. Me and her looking at each other like, receive and what are you talking about? What? Like, we looking, we had to, mind you, orange is gay. So we both looking like, what are you talking about? He was like, y'all know bottom and top. We still looking at each other like, what are you talking about? What I'm telling you, we got straight face like, what are you talking about? Y'all don't know what's receiving was given? Y'all know top and bottom? I was like, no. So basically he had to break it down for us. It's like receive is like when you receiving, like, is like receiving is when God receives something to you, and then like giving, like you giving it back to them. It was like, oh, so when he broke it down to us, we understood what he was talking about. So we was like, oh, see, we didn't know that. Yeah, we did. I was like, listen, both of us like, you know, we're not gonna comprehend this well. So we was like, listen, we don't know this. We just knew all these terms. So we just had a ball just laughing stuff. So I was like, wait, so what is bottom and top? What is that? Like, so kids, cover your ears. That's what I'm gonna say. Y'all need to cover your ears. But he was like, yeah, bottom was where and then, so we was like, bottom. He said, yeah. He said when a gay guy, when you on, he was like, no, he was like, bottom when you doing the front position and you on bottom, stuff like that. I'm like, oh. And then he was like, top well, he was like, top is like, y'all know. Bottom is where he was like, bottom you have to sit, and then top is where, y'all know, right? Okay. He was explaining with that. So I'm like, oh, okay. See, I didn't know all this. So I'm like, yeah. So he was telling us a story about him and his boyfriend, how he had to do bottom and that, and his man wouldn't want to give him top and this. I'm like, we was like, oh my goodness. We don't need to know. But it's like, he put it on there. We both looking like, yeah, we need to be schooled up on this a little bit more. Breaking it down to me. And I remember this like it was yesterday. And I'm just like, wow, I did not know all of this at all. So I was just so amazed with it, because I'm like, yo, I really didn't know about all this. I really didn't. I really didn't. So are y'all submissive or y'all dominatrix, something like that? So we both look at each other like, yo, you say these words and we don't know what the hell they mean. So he was like, being submissive is like, you being all, laid back, all goody and stuff like that. And then, matrix where you wanna, he's like submissive where you just wanna lay back, have, the person do all the work. That matrix where you more aggressive, you more want to take control. We was like, oh, see, we didn't know about all this right now. I'm confused, because both of us was confused. We looking at him like, man, we don't know all this. You said all this, like we know what you talking about. So we both look like we don't know. So after we got finished, I was like, yo. So after we got finished, I'm looking. I see the manager. I said, yo, I see the manager. He was alright. So they leaving out. I'm cleaning up. So the manager called me. I didn't do it. So I'm like, yes, I need you on the floor. I said, I want to do the fitting rooms. So he said, these two gonna do the fitting rooms, you gonna do the floor. I was like, okay. like, God darn it, I want to hear this more juicy story right here. I'm like, damn, I want to hear more juicy stuff. So after that, case might be, you know, I was on the floor helping customers and stuff like that. Case might be, you know. So on the floor was always boring, but it was almost close to me leaving, so I was more happy with that. You know. So mine shot, right? Oh, that's the part I messed up on. With the clocking out, we had to punch our numbers and use our one finger, and then we could leave. So, you know, but after a while, all we did, every time we came clocked in, we just had to use our finger, and we just had to use our finger for a couple minutes, and then we just leave. So we didn't push our numbers and stuff, yeah. So it was almost time. It was like 4:35 o'clock when I clocked out. I used my finger. I was out, right? So I was like, I bet, you know. So after I got finished and stuff like that, I was like, damn, that story was good, but I did not know all these terms. Like, I really did not want and stuff like that. You know, excuse me. After I, you know, got to see new people, got to know new people and stuff like that, you know. He started having me on a sales floor, you know. He most of the times did have me in the fitting room, but mostly on the sales floor. So yeah, I'll mostly be on the sales floor doing the sales and putting stuff back and, you know, stuff like that. Cause might be, you know. But stuff that he would put back, it'd be on the wrong rack. It was some things I remember because I seen it and I put it in the right places. Stuff that, some things I didn't see, I put it anywhere. And I would ask somebody in the field, I'm like, where do this go? They're like, they look at me like, put it anywhere. Okay, you don't gotta tell me twice. Oh, put it anywhere, stuff like that. And like I said, it was something that I recognized, I seen it before, I put it right on the shelf. So after that, I'm like, alright. So after around, like getting close to December, because this is when I was leaving out of Forever 21. So, and when I left, it was December 14, 2018. That's when I left. So, yeah, after when I left and, you know, stuff like that, you know, case might be, I was like, alright. So, after that case might be, I was still working, still doing what I need to do and stuff like that, you know. So, wasn't having me on shift. Like, I came to work and stuff like that, you know, case might be, you know. But after a while, I never saw, like, my name on the shift. Like, I would call, see my name on the shift. They're like, no, your name not on the shift. I'm like, okay. They must be letting me go. So, for some reason, I don't know. So, like, I was being home a lot and stuff like that. So, I was like, I wonder why they don't got me on shift and stuff like that. Like, I was confused of myself, like, why they don't got me on shift. Like, I'm realizing I'm not on schedule, I'm not on this, I'm not on that. So, a lot of things I was confused. So, I was like, okay. So, on that day, that's when he finally told me he would let me go. Because I was wondering, like, y'all just got me home. And basically, I was at my grandma's house. So I basically at my grandma's house, I realized I was home. I wasn't even working or anything, like. And I'm starting thinking that they was leaving it somewhere else because they wasn't calling me or anything. And plus, I believe that they was closing because they was telling me that they was closing, they was leaving, they was gonna be back open and stuff like that. So I believe it's because of that too. But yeah, they didn't want me back in there. I was like, wait, what's going on here? What's going on? But yeah, they let me go because they was closing the store, so it wasn't gonna be no more stores. So that's why I wasn't getting, you know, on my floor and stuff. But one thing they didn't have me was the fitting rooms and the sales. I was never on the cashier. They didn't have me on cashier, nothing like that. But basically, yeah. But I hope y'all like this story. Hope y'all enjoy. I hope y'all learned some things and hope y'all knew what it meant too. If y'all didn't, y'all just found out today like I did in this story time. And yeah, I hope give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share my video. Tell a friend. And yeah, subscribe, hit that notification bell, subscribe, share my video, comment, everything will be down in the description. And give me a thumbs up. And I hope y'all have a blessed day. Hope y'all have a good day. So I know I did. And I hope y'all like the story time. If y'all want more story times on my work experience, comment below. I will give you more story times of how all these jobs came to play. Okay, but yeah, it wasn't gonna be no more of that store I was booking with, but they ain't saying it till the last day. But later, y'all, bye.